Okay, hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Um, what we're going to be doing is basically we're going to be working through this Crypto Zombies course. So if you'd like to come to this site, cryptozombies.io, create an account, and you can work through these tutorials with me. So I'm no expert in Solidity. I'm learning for myself, but what I intend to do over these videos is I'm going to work through the tutorials ahead of time from yourselves, and then what we're going to do is each chapter on here, each lesson, we're going to work through, and that's going to be one YouTube video. So we're going to work through lesson one, and I'm going to do a YouTube video on lesson one, okay, where you can follow along. So yeah, let's have a look into it. So what is Solidity, and why are we bothering to even learn it? What's the point? So what is Solidity? Well, Solidity, it's a programming language, okay, and it's used specifically for implementing smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain, okay. So we can use Solidity to create behaviors between different accounts, okay. So we all sign these contracts, these smart contracts, which are written in Solidity all the time, and we sign these when we're approving transactions or anything like that. The whole um, all of these smart contracts are written in Solidity, so I think it's a very interesting thing to learn more about. So let's take a look a little bit. So if we look on here, we can get we can go to Etherscan for a particular name. So this is just 24768. If we look here, this is the contract address. Okay, this is the contract for the original ENS contract, which was written. And so what we can do is we can look at certain information here. So if we click on the contract creator, so this was the Ethereum account which created this contract, the ENS deployer for ENS, and this is the transaction ID. So here it gives us a bit of information. It tells us when the contract was released onto the blockchain. It tells us what the Ethereum price was, what the gas price was. Um, so yeah, this is kind of cool. So once a smart contract is released out into the wild, once a smart contract is put on the blockchain, it's immutable, which means that it can't be changed, and there's a history of it there forever. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of things that we can potentially do with this. Um, so let's have a look at, so where does Solidity come into it then? Okay, if you look here on this contract part, you can see that this here gives you the contract source code, which is written in Solidity. Okay, so we can look here, this Pragma Solidity, we're sort of saying what version of Solidity we're doing. And then this is all the functionality for the ENS contract, which has been brought in and coded for. Okay, so this is what we're going to be learning about. This is the type of code that we're going to try and gain some sort of understanding for, and look and see how we can apply it to what we want to do in Web3. So here, it's quite interesting. You've got, there's a read contract and a write contract part. So there'll be different functions in here which are given different levels of access, or some functions will be defined as read only, which then here allows us to do certain things. So for example, this part's read only, so this is like the grace period. So I assume this um, so this many, I believe, is to be seconds, should give us about 3 months, which is the grace period. And yeah, there's lots of different things here, so we can get the balance of, I believe this gives the number of ENS names in that particular wallet. So if I go to the ENS trading post one here and use my wallet ID, um, then we can see here that there's 653 ENS in this wallet. So these are functions that we can use, which have already been created and made way back over 1,000 days ago when this contract was first deployed. There's also functions that we can write to. So if we want to do certain things, if we want to register a domain, or if we wanted to renew a domain, we could do that directly through here, through Etherscan, if we were to connect our Web3 wallet. So yeah, that's kind of an introduction to like what is Solidity, a bit of a general sense, and why we're even bothering trying to study it. But yeah, let's just do another quick example. So if I go to OpenSea and find the board 8 yacht contract, got it, board I think it's quite a good example, just for an NFT collection, say. Um, so what we can do is we can find, as soon as you find the contract address here, so this now is the contract address of the Baltic Yacht Club, tells you how much Ethereum's in their account, the Baltic Yacht Club, for the contract. Like we said before, it gives us a transaction ID of when it was deployed, so 585 days ago, Ether price at the time. But here again, so there's these read and write functions, so we can read what was the price of an ape, what are the balance of different owners' wallets, things like this. And even back when the Baltic Yacht Club were first minting, if you're ever minting an NFT collection, there's a problem with the front end, so like the website. So where if you try to click the button to mint and you're having problems, you could always mint straight from the contract here. So you could connect your wallet to Etherscan, and you could say, I wanted to mint. This is the amount that I'm going to pay for one Bored Ape Yacht Club token. And you could write it here, and you could put the You get the MetaMask pop up, and you could put the transaction through. So obviously you can't do that anymore because the transaction had failed because they've all been minted. But it's kind of useful to know as well that we can use these functions on here. We don't always have to do everything straight from a nice website interface. We can interact with functions on the Ethereum blockchain in the same way that anyone else can. So because this is a mutable contract, anyone can read these functions, anyone can write to these functions. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a general overview into Solidity. Um, this will start off next on lesson 1. I should have said I'm aiming this course at people with some programming experience. I'm not going to be able to build up everything from ground zero. I'm not going to be able to teach you everything about programming. But if you've got a bit of knowledge, that's who I'm mainly targeting at. But if anyone wants to follow along, feel free to. And yeah, hopefully we can learn and help each other along the way. So thank you.